Thanks, Omar. All right, this is on. Yeah, as he said, I just recently relocated from San Francisco by way of Melbourne now to Sydney. So I've been in Australia for about 9 months. And next month I'm launching Hello Mister, which is a magazine about men who date men. Currently, there's only a few titles on the newsstand that cater to gay men, and all of their content is very typically the same. So Hello Mister is a new offering, not just for gay men, but about them. A chance to rebrand our image and showcase our modern values that extend beyond political agendas and perfecting our images. So it's accessible, not aspirational. It's realistic, not flawless. It's endearing, not seductive. It's witty, not blatant. It's insightful, not superficial. And it's coy, not explicit. So when I say, if you can go back one, when I say, a gay lifestyle magazine, it's pretty clear, I think, the image that comes to mind. So more than anything, it's not about a lifestyle, it's just about life. And in my first letter from the editor, I highlight the abnormally fast rates that gays often jump into relationships. And that's a stereotype, perhaps, but an observation of my own life that I'm fully embraced. So I mentioned the advice, can you just go back one? Thanks. I mentioned the advice of the people in our lives without whom we'd never survive heartache. We wouldn't have anyone to gush to, nor would we have considered giving him a second chance. It's their feedback and outside observations that help us see things more clearly. But most often, they bite their tongues and withhold this valuable information until we ask them for it. So that's definitely not the case when you're launching a new brand, especially one that uses the word redefine in its marketing. But that's part of the game. And as the brand moved from concept to reality, the unsolicited feedback is what helped this team of one shape the magazine. So you could argue that crowdfunding campaigns like Kickstarter, which is how I raised the funds to produce this first issue, are completely solicited in their request for feedback. But that just because someone, just go back one more. Just because someone, contributes money doesn't mean they don't want to feel, and they're not getting a part of a share in the company, which campaigns like Kickstarter and Plausible aren't for investors. Doesn't mean they don't want to feel like they're part of the development of the entire end product. And to be honest, I set it up this way. So before I launched the campaign, I had already commissioned about 30% of the content for the first issue. But the launch was also simultaneous with the open call for submissions, by the end of which I had over 100,000 words that I'd reviewed, and from nearly 100 contributors in just the 30 days that the campaign was open. So I never doubted a lack of content. It was the comments that came attached to each submission, each conversation, and each blog post that helped me create something truly novel and relevant to this demographic. Before moving to Australia, I worked at the design consultancy IDEO, which is founded in uncovering design solutions through ethnographic and highly collaborative methods. The results are hard to argue with, and after almost 3 years there, it just becomes part of your own working style. Even as a solo entrepreneur now, you become less protective of your ideas, and you see the value in opening up your creative process to collaboration. I may be the only face behind the brand, but Hello Mister is absolutely a community effort. And I wouldn't be sending 160 pages of content to print and for app development in a few weeks without the help of countless individuals around the world. So to create a brand that's truly relevant, you have to go further than just finding a gap in the market. I've listened to the criticisms and incorporated the feedback into this first issue, and as Hello Mister grows and expands into new offerings, I'll continue listening as a team of one or many, and make sure that it reflects the community behind it always. Thanks.